Welcome back to the channel, everybody. What are we doing today? We're taking the green car down to my shop to put it on the lift to get the transmission out, fuel lines out, brake lines out, ARB out, maybe cut the flooring cage out. Start that today. And tranny cooler. I have quickly realized that I am not 22 years old anymore, and taking a 150-pound transmission out on your back, it's not my list of fun things to do anymore. I own 3 lifts. I might as well go use them. So let's get down there.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patent it. Being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past and the pettiness. A reflection of the emptiness.
Alright, we're at the shop. I'm not turning the lights on so people don't bother me, because they'll be like, oh, you're here, you're open on Saturdays? No. Goodies have shown up. We got a Cameron Johnson race cars, average Johnson roll bar. It's a nice piece. Pretty decent sized tube. These arms are serious business. And it came with these brackets, but I'm gonna have to redo these because my plan, see if my plan will work. I don't know. I'm gonna find out. My plan is to mount this thing up in between here. See if I can pull back far enough. And then have the end links to this bar. So I'd get rid of it from there. All right, this one's bent. All right, get rid of the TMZ one, and then put this one somewhere in here like this. Yeah, that's the plan. I don't know if it's gonna work, but that's my plan. Draining the training fluid. It's all right. It's not overly dark. It's a little dark, but it's no big deal, considering that was in there all year. So we gotta rip this out. We gotta rip this out. I want to get my sensor out so it doesn't get damaged. Or, I mean, I guess I could stay. I'd just pull the cable out because it's zip tied there. I gotta get the shock sensor out. I gotta get these fuel lines out, this brake line out, take the whole transmission out. Yeah, and then we're gonna start to see about cutting this floor out. I think, now that I'm under here and looking, I can stick the lift arms so it looks like the floor gets cut right there, if you can see. You see the green versus the black. So I think I can move the lift arms to right here and cut back there, and then back here, it's on the torque boxes, it's fine. But the one thing that's gonna suck is they welded the subframe connector to the frame rail right there. See it? And then it goes all the way to the torque box. So what I think I'm gonna do is, because this is gonna get lopped, I don't know. What I'm gonna do is this is where the floor seams, you could see a spot weld and spot weld, so I'll probably cut it here, and I'll leave the flange, and I'll let Joe figure out what he wanna do from there. And I'll cut the subframe connectors, and once I get in, I could probably get a saw right down in here. The subframe, the lower torque boxes are coming out. Those are getting replaced. Uppers are getting replaced. Look at my terrible welding. So I'm not worried about that, but while I'm in here, like I wanna get rid of stuff like this that's not needed, stuff like this, you know, e-brake cable, like anything that's weight that's not needed. Yeah. So we'll go from there. I'm gonna, training's just about done being drained, so I gotta start yanking drive shaft out and everything like that. Let's see if I can set this camera up somewhere where it's not a terrible angle. It is pretty easy to get the training out of this thing. It's not bad. She needs a bath. It's been a couple of years since it's been in, you know, apart. So this year it's got to go to Anthony. I hear children. Yeah. So looks pretty good. Dirty. These fittings. Oh, I gotta make stubs for these out to make this life easier. And I think the front pump is in. I had a water leak all of a sudden. I took the motor apart, and I really hope that's not a head gasket. I hope it's water from when I took the intercooler out, because all of a sudden it's. Oh man, it's leaking out a bell housing bolt hole. Well, that's interesting. I hope that's just stuck from when I took the intercooler off and spilled water everywhere. If not, I'll be getting a little bit of silicone on that bolt. That was fun. So I just made it a little bit easier to get the upper torque box out, because this whole bulkhead's gonna get cut out and those overlap the sides. So that'll get cut out, cleaned all up. Probably clean up in here and some of my old BS. I don't like grinding, so I don't. I cut it close and call it a day, but that's got to change. So, there's the old Team Z one. There's a new Cameron Johnson one. Meaty. This bar, so I'm starting to wonder. This thing is ungodly heavy. I'll show you here in a second how thick the Team Z bar is. Thick. 2 C's. So they got a brass bushing. See how thick that bar is? That thing's gotta be 1/4 inch thick. So I'm starting to wonder if the thinner bar allows a little bit spring back, and that's why, and this one just bends. If I lay this on flat ground, you could see both of the downlinks are bent. They're all tweaked and all sorts of stuff, but they're also tweaked this way by like 1/8 of an inch. So that means this thing is tweaking going down the track. Hopefully we don't have this with the new Cameron Johnson one, but this is, I'm gonna scale it. I've been scaling everything that comes off the car. So we're gonna see how much the weight difference is on this with the brackets and bolts. So stay tuned. I'm just about done here. I didn't get to the floor, but it's 3 o'clock. I'm exhausted. I fell in my driveway the other night, and I feel like it just re-aggravated. It was icy, all right? I didn't just fall in my driveway. I think I re-aggravated it, pushing the car in. So I've been kind of milking through. I wanted to get as much done as I possibly can, because now I can concentrate on cutting the cage out and cutting the floor out. And we got like a month before this goes to the chassis shop. So I'm just gonna keep working on the chassis as much as I can, because if, you know, it's less work for him, it's less money for me. So if I can get that whole floor out, the rockers cleaned up, the front and rear bulkheads cleaned up, you know, and all that stuff cleaned up to where he could literally just come in and stick the cage in the car and build out from there, it's gonna save hours of work, because, you know, that's hours of work. So probably a couple of nights a week, I'll stay late after work, push it in and start cutting it out. But other than that, we are essentially done under here. Let's see here. Training's all out, but I bolted the motor to the mid plate, and this is where we're gonna cut the floor out. So cut it all the way out around, boom, boom, right through the frame rails, the cage out, all the way down. Once I get this thing off the lift, I can pull these out all the way down, start cutting these subframe connectors out, and we're gonna come to here, right here, cut it all the way out. Around this one I'll probably do inside, and most I can, and then this will all be gone. Anyway, that was big progress. I've been waiting to do that, to have a free weekend. I thought about going to New Hampshire this weekend, but I'm like, you know what? It's the beginning of the season, there'll be plenty of snow up there, so I'm gonna bring my boy up. I'm gonna be changing the down pipes, so I gotta get some blanks made for here. I'm gonna circle around and come out here, mainly to keep heat away from the firewall and try to save some weight. I think that's gonna be the end for today, not the end for this video. We'll pick back up cutting that floor out. All right, it's super dark in here now, so I hope you can see. I got a little ahead of myself, and I didn't film any of it. So, cut through there, almost all the way through. Boom, 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 boom. I gotta cut here, and I gotta cut to here. This is where the floor plate is, 6x6. So this is all cut through that subframe connector, cut through the frame rail, cut all the way up and around. Cut, and we're here. And I have one more saw blade, but I gotta go 1/8 inch plate through here. And then once I get that out, I can start working on these pieces here, which is gonna probably be a real freaking nightmare. Yeah, but I'm gonna see if this, make sure this, okay. I was afraid cutting that whole front. I don't know if it's completely detached inside. We're about to see. I was afraid it was literally just gonna like fall out. That'd be something. I got so much metal in my beard. Actually, it hasn't been too bad. I started cutting a bunch of the cage out. So like the rear down bars that go through the deck lid are cut out, and the bars that go to the torque box, because I'm gonna try. We're gonna see if this is gonna work or not. I don't know. I'm gonna try to take this main section out with the floor. So I'll try to like tilt it down, if that makes any sense, without having to cut it all out. I'm obviously gonna have to probably pull the steering column out. We're gonna see. So like I said, oh, I gotta come in a little bit further. I was hitting the side plate. That's why it's such an issue. So I'm probably not gonna cut these off the rocker, because it's gonna be an effing nightmare. So I'll probably just grind that down. Cut through that one. I'm almost all the way through there. You can see the cut. Cut through the rest of the floor, up and over. Something's holding it up front, and I'm not really sure. It might just be the cage and the subframe connectors, but as you can see, it's all cut through. All the way around. Oh, look, another blade. Hey. So that's all cut through. So it's mainly just these back corners, and then this floor pan is out. Which, golly. I really hope I don't have to cut this whole cage apart. I mean, I don't know why I'm trying to save it, because it's like, it's built on subframe connectors. So it's like, I couldn't even give it to someone to put in a car. But I guess we'll see if it'll come out. it'd be kind of cool to have it all in one piece. It's still certified too for another 2 years. Yeah. When I get this out, I'm gonna pull all these panels out and repaint them and put them back in nicely. I want full interior, so it's getting it. Those will be all painted and put back in. This is gonna get trimmed out a lot, just enough to be able to mount a panel to. And see what else, probably trim inside there a little bit. I'm not gonna go crazy. I don't want a tin can. So that's gonna be that. I think I'm gonna call it quits. It's after 4, like I said, I'm not turning the lights in here, so it's getting pretty dark. That's why I had such a high time on that one. I don't know if you can see, but I started to cut through the actual support. It went sideways, so I'll have to come back in. But I don't know, maybe another hour of cutting, and then it'll be grinding the rockers clean, because the ledge of the floor pan. So I'll come in and just with my band file and hit all the spot welds and get that whole flange out, because that flange has to come out. We tried to sneak it around on Dave's and it did not happen. We're gonna have to definitely get that out. Like I said, the most prep work I can do, it's gonna save me money with the chassis shop if they don't have to do any of this. So I'm gonna do as much as I can. All right, well, I'll come back when the floor is actually out. Now we might be stuck. Might be stuck in the back. Huh? It looks like if you keep going. Huh?
Your phone is wet.
My phone is wet?
Yeah.
Well, you're still on it. There you go.
So loud.
So loud. There she is.
Out in this one piece.
Yeah, I'll have to cut 2 bars. Technically only 1, just that red one. How cool is that, buddy?
That's really cool. What you think, Lincoln?
I think
It's boring?
okay, after that, let's do it. Oh, there's so many things in there.
So many things.
That's what I love on this part of the garage.
Yeah.
He does so much cool shit that you just want to stick around and just look at him and watch.
Yeah.
Well, I can have breakfast. Woo!
Whew.
All right.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Great week. I'll see you Monday.
Sir.
Woo!
Lincoln, I'll see you later.
You too.
You saying shoo?
Woo!
All right. While I'm home, I might as well get some stuff done here while the car is at my shop. So I'm gonna start welding some stuff on the cage. Oh no, battery. So I'm gonna start welding stuff on the cage while it's out of the car. So this is the first thing I've welded in probably a year. You can see how better. Hey, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. So the parachute handle is in. That was kind of a pain in the butt. There's way less space up in here. With, I'm pretty sure this bar comes to like here on my other cage. So it's way different oriented. And now I'm working on the Timmick Amos window net kit. So it includes this really cool jig. you can bolt the tabs to line them up and everything and get them welded on. It's just 3D printed, but it's perfect. Ran a bolt through it, and now I just cleaned the tube, so we're gonna get this thing situated and tacked in here. I just realized I never did an outro for that video. Oh, I think I did one, but I've had major file corruption and I've lost a bunch of footage. Stuff that I can't go back and redo. Mainly taking the, sorry, I'm ADDing right now. You know, once I got the car back home and cleaning the floors and rockers and going over all the roll cage and all of that. But we will survive. It's time for a new computer. My Mac is too old now. But we got the whole cage out, cut the floor out, came out in one piece. Relatively unscathed. I bent the rear deck a little bit, but I was able to bend it back up. I have that cage for sale if anybody wants it. It's sitting outside my garage. I don't know why I wanted to take it out in one piece, but I did. So that's all apart. Everything's out. And now we move on. So we'll wrap this video up. I know it's a real late outro, but I want you to get in your garage, grab a cold drink, get to work on your hot rod. I got a ton of parts that I can't sell that I literally have to set up a shelf for because it's just been collecting all over the floor. So who knows, maybe the convertible gets a twin turbo, or you know, a single turbo with a Sheriff Fab low ram on top of it instead, and some 15x10 welds. But we'll figure that out at a later date. So get in the garage, grab a cold drink, get to work on your hot rod. Have a great day, guys.